Ladies and gentlemen, I am your league owner, Whale Shark, and welcome to the Week 6 Stats Show. Oh my gosh. That's insane. We're in Week 6. I mean, time really does fly. We are nearing the end of the season. There are only 4 more weeks left, and then we can start the heavily anticipated playoffs and then just move on to Season 3. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it, as I always say. We're going to be starting out with the Fry Division. So BLZ, they were undefeated, but sadly, they did lose to Aries this week, which brings them down to 5-1. Sadly, they are now not undefeated, but they are still a very good team, and they still have an almost 100% chance of making it to the playoffs as of now. CNQ had another tough loss, just like BLZ. They played dirt this week and they sadly lost, and that drops them to 3-3. EXL got a win. They are actually 2-4. It does state that they are 1-5 in this because this was taken a long time ago, but they are currently 2-4 and not 1-5. So they are on CNQ's tail. I believe they play CNQ in Week 8, and that's going to be a very important game. If EXL wins this week and CNQ loses, that means they have the same record, and CNQ has to win or else they are knocked out and EXL gets the position. Ruth is currently 0-6 right now. They replaced VLE, but sadly they played TL, which is a very good team and is on the rise right now. Got 2 wins in a row so far. So we'll definitely be seeing a lot more from them, I think, closer to the end of the season. Trying to really make that push to get into the playoffs, maybe. But, we'll see. But yes, they did have a loss. As unfortunate as it is, you gotta keep going. There's always going to be that one team that, is struggling to find a win. And sadly, the gods picked Ruth. Next up, we have the Boiled Division. Leading the Boiled Division right now, we have TGT. They currently are 5-1. They got a good win this week, I believe, over IQ it was. No. Sorry, TGT actually lost this week. I'm thinking of last week. They had a pretty tough loss against Axe this week. And so they dropped to 5-1, but they are pretty much guaranteed going to the playoffs, as you can see from the rest of their division. They are actually the only winning team in their division, which is unlike most of the other divisions. Then we have Rod. Rod got a good win this week. They lost against BBUC. I'm really tired. I'm sorry. But they are actually 3-3. The stats are messed up for this one. So they are going to be trying to make it to the playoffs, but in the end, it just is going to fall where it falls. Then we have FTE. They actually got a win. In some miraculous way, they got a win, which puts them at 2-4. And then SSL had a tough loss against Ace this week, which moves them to 1-5. Moving on over to the Shell Conference, we are going to start off with the Post Division, and specifically Ace. Ace did get a good win over SSL this week, as I just mentioned, and so they are 5-1. But BBUC, 4 wins in a row, currently one of the best teams and currently on fire. I mean, they are absolutely on fire. They've had an incredible season, and so they are really trying to take over that Ace number 1 spot that they have had for the entire season, which is absolutely insane. They are actually going to be playing each other this week. Isn't that insane? They are going to be playing each other this week. And if Ace wins, they keep their number 1 spot. They clinch a playoff spot. And not only that, they have an extremely good chance at beating the number 1 seed since they don't play BBUC again. There's almost no chance of a tiebreaker. I don't think that, there will be any tiebreakers, but, you never know. But BBUC, point is, they're on the up, and they have, just destroyed their competition. Axe, also, speaking of destroying their competition, got one of the best teams in the league, one of their very first losses. And so they are currently 3-3. Their stats were messed up because a player was unbanned that was originally banned. And so they're now 3-3. And then finally IQ got a loss, so they are now 1-5. They currently are on the chopping block of being removed from the league at the end of the season, or being pushed to a pre-league, which is in the works. I will say that. More about that a little later, since we don't have like the full specs of like what we are planning on doing, but that's besides the point. The final division we have is the Scramble Division. We start off with the best team in the league at the time of this recording. It's Aries. Aries is undefeated for the 6th week in a row. They have not lost a single game, and they are the number 1 team in the league. And they could be the number 1 team in the league for the majority of the rest of the season. It all depends. If they lose, then that definitely gives other teams a good chance of snaking that number 1 spot. But right now, talking about right now, Aries is number 1 at 6-0. Next up we have Dirt, which is still trying to get back that spot from Aries that they so graciously took from them. Dirt did get a win, so they are continuing with that consistency of just trying to beat their teams that they're playing, and just trying to see if they can, eventually snake a win. They will play Aries again in the last few weeks, either week 9 or 10. I think it's 9. No, it might be 10 actually. So it might come down to that. If Dirt wins, then they take the number 1 spot from Aries, which is insane. The funny part is that if Dirt and Aries both make it to the playoffs, then they will actually end up playing each other twice in 2 weeks, which is hilarious. Then we have TL. TL is on the up, getting another win, 2 wins in a row. They beat Ruth this week, so that means they're 2-4. So they're definitely a team to look out for coming to the close of the season. It's definitely going to be really hard for them to make a playoff spot, considering these 2 teams are just killing it right now. But we will see. You never know. Point is, you will never know. And finally, last team is Arctic. Laz, if you still remember or refer to them as their former name, they just renamed to Arctic. I don't know why, just stated it. But they are currently 1-5. They had a tough loss against EXL this week, which means they are on the chopping block. If they lose this week, they are out of the playoffs. So, it is what it is. But those are the stats, and I hope you enjoyed. It's been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.